The Dershow.
Here you have a situation where parents want the transgender medicine, transgender surgery, but the state says no. And so it's the state overruling parents in the interests of the children. That raises one issue. And the other issue is whether it constitutes discrimination against not a male, not a female, but essentially a third gender, that is somebody who's on a spectrum or somebody who is born into one gender and wants to be in another gender. Is that a category that's recognized by the Constitution? I surely think it should be, even though at the time of the framing of the Constitution, we didn't know. We did know, even I think old sources, even maybe some biblical sources, referred to what were then called hermaphrodites. That is, people who were born with both male and female apparatuses. There's a movie out now about that. I'm not going to give it away because it would be a spoiler. It's a good movie, but part of it involves that issue, and so the Supreme Court argument today, from what I heard of it, was a pretty intelligent argument on all sides. I wish these arguments were available live on video for everybody to watch. I think maybe they are now available on audio. They're not played generally by the major news outlets, but I suspect you can probably go online and listen to all the arguments. I was a little busy today, so I didn't do that, but I heard enough of the arguments to give me a sense and to help me make a prediction that this case will be decided largely in favor of Tennessee and the other states that have some restrictions. I suspect the decision will be a nuanced decision, and it may distinguish between types of medical interventions and between cases of parental consent and no parental consent. I think there'll be a range of opinions and views on this very complicated issue. But in the end, I predict that Chief Justice Roberts' view will prevail. And that is, this is too complicated an issue to be analyzed under a simple equal protection analysis, that in the end, when reasonable people can disagree, and reasonable people do disagree about this issue. We're not now talking about bathrooms and sporting events. Those are okay. They're important issues too, but this is an identity issue. This is, are you a man or a woman? And can you at a young age make a decision, or have your parents make a decision for you, which permanently denies you, for example, the right to procreate directly or other rights. And so I suspect that the Brandeis view, Brandeis being a great liberal, will prevail here. The Brandeis, and I'm sure it will be cited by the conservative majority, the liberal Brandeis view, namely that the states are laboratories of experimentation. And just like in Europe, there's a European Union, but it consists of lots of countries. And some of the countries in the European Union allow this, some of them don't allow this. And I suspect the end result is we'll see an array of rules regarding transgender medical treatment, ranging from some states prohibiting it outright and some states limiting or prohibiting some aspects of it, but not others. And the Supreme Court will set boundaries, but will not get into the specifics. So I make a lot of predictions. Hold me to this one. We won't know at the latest until June, but the earliest, I mean, this is a case, argued in early December. It could easily be decided by April or May, but likely it will be in the last batch of cases when the most important decisions and the most controversial ones generally come out, and that is in the last week of the court's term, which is usually the very, very end of June and sometimes up to July 3rd. So don't hold your breath, but wait and see. Make your predictions, write them down. Mine are on video, so I can never deny them. I was wrong about Roe versus Wade. I thought Roe versus Wade would not be absolutely overruled, and it should never have been absolutely overruled. I thought it would be limited substantially in the process of being overruled over time, but that the court would not jump at overruling it right then, because Mississippi didn't, in its cert petition, ask for it to be overruled. It just asked for it to be limited to 15 weeks. So we'll see. We'll see. The Supreme Court is hard to predict, and I'm going out on a limb and making a prediction. We'll see in a few months whether I'm right or wrong.